Recognize the gentleman from Ohio, Dr. Wenstrup, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, it's nice to finally get an opportunity to speak with you about surprise billing and more so about your surprise ruling. We've reached out on a bipartisan basis to try and set up a time to talk, and we've been reaching out to HHS on the issue of surprise billing for a while now. And you may have seen a number of the letters we sent to the administration over the last year. Last June, Representative Swazi and I sent a letter with 95 other members describing the congressionally passed surprise billing legislation. Last November, Representative Swazi and I were joined by 150 of our colleagues urging the tri-agencies to implement the No Surprises Act in accordance with the law that we as Congress passed. Yesterday, Representative Swazi and I wrote again, urging that your rulemaking reflect the letter of the law and the Eastern District of Texas ruling in the TMA case. Our goal in this was to take patients out of this, to reduce their anxiety that often comes with a surprise bill. We wanted it to be fair. We wanted insurance companies to want doctors to be in network, and we wanted a plan that doctors wanted to be in network as a result. So let me back up. Congress spent years negotiating and deliberating how to solve surprise medical billing in a balanced fashion. And on behalf of patients, physicians on both sides of the aisle worked on behalf of patients to create a bill with our colleagues that will serve to benefit patients. And as a result, Congress ultimately rejected any plan that included a benchmark in it, yet you implemented a policy Congress explicitly rejected. The process laid out in your rulemaking does not reflect the way the law was written. Your rule actually violates the law, does not reflect a balanced process to settle payment disputes, and most importantly, does not reflect a bill that could have ever passed Congress. The IDR process set up in the law captures the unique circumstances of each billing dispute and does not cause any single piece of information to be the default that what is considered. Nowhere in the bill does it say the arbiter shall presume that the median in-network rate should be the default factor considered. Your job is to implement law, not change law. I'm not a lawyer like you, but I did as a child watch Schoolhouse Rock, and I don't remember at the end where it said once the president signs this law, agencies have the authority to change it. If insurance companies know that they can pay a provider the median in-network rate, then there's absolutely no incentive to get them in network. And who controls the median in-network rate? The insurance companies. It totally puts this in their hands. And this is dangerous for patient care. You know, if you think that they want to get everyone in network, that's really not how it's working in the real world. And especially in areas where insurers have a very large presence, they have all the leverage. And as soon as you released your rule, they sent out letters telling we're going to cut what we pay you, or you have to get out. So docs do get out, and some stop practicing. So the reason I'm so concerned about the implementation of this policy as you put forward is the adverse effects that it has on patients. If you stray from the letter of the law, the policy will lead to narrow networks. And we are going to have some problems. There won't be enough doctors available to take care of patients across America, especially in emergency situations, especially in rural and underserved communities where the margins are just so very thin, if you even can get over the margins. So, Secretary Becerra, as you may know, the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Texas ruled that the government overstepped its regulatory authority in implementing the No Surprises Act. I'm very concerned that the DOJ filed a notice to appeal the decision. At the Energy and Commerce Committee yesterday, you said HHS is heeding the court ruling that came out recently. Heeding means you're only taking notice of it. Can you commit that you will promulgate a final rule to implement the No Surprises Act consistent with the law, passed by Congress, and affirmed by the district court's ruling, not just heed it, but actually comply with it?
Chairman,
Please.
I'll try to be brief in responding. Congressman, thank you for the question. Thanks for going into detail on that. And I can only say so much because of what you pointed out. We are in court, and also we are still in the final stages of rulemaking. So I'm very limited in what I can say, which is what I try to explain to Congressman LaHood, and the reason why sometimes you don't get the response, substantive response you're seeking, because I'm restricted in what I can respond in writing or verbally. What I can tell you is that we are continuing the rulemaking process. We hope to get through that fairly soon because we are getting cases. The law is already in effect and we are trying to enforce, but we are going to comply with the law. how the final rule comports with existing law and the court rulings. We hope that what we come out with is something that will not only pass the muster of the courts, but also when you all come back, passes muster, because I know at the end of the day, we'll continue to work with Congress to make sure we get this right, because no one wants any patient to be stuck in the middle of, as I say, a food fight between a provider and an insurer.
I thank the gentleman.
Mr. Chairman, may I submit some documents for the record?
So ordered.
I'd like to submit this joint press release from Ways and Means, Energy and Commerce, Education and Labor, published December 21, 2020. In here it clearly states the text includes no benchmarking or rate setting, and that the arbiter must equally consider many factors. I'd also like to submit 4 letters for the record that were sent from members of Congress while drafting the No Surprises Act, and 9 letters for the record that were sent during the implementation of the No Surprises Act. And I would add that you're choosing to be in court. We don't have to be. I yield back.